Hi everyone, Ashley here and welcome to another video on the Penguin Palace Stamps YouTube channel. Today I have another fun card to share with you using some of the fun new products from Penguin Palace Stamps' latest release. For this video I'm using the Never Give Up stamp set, which again is new, and it's very cute. It comes with a lot of different images of different types of foods and things that you would eat, and a lot of really cute funny sentiments to go along with them. The first step of this card is to stamp out the table image, and this is where all the cute little foods are going to be sitting on. But I wanted it to be a longer table than the actual stamp, so all I'm doing is modifying the stamped image as you can see here. I'm using my mini MISTI tool to stamp out the table first by just inking up part of it. So I just inked up the bottom part of the table using a little mini black ink cube. You can use any ink for this, but the mini cubes make it easy to really make sure that you're only inking where you want to ink. Next, I'm just lining up the table stamp again, laying it right over top of where I already stamped, so that it'll look as if the table is longer than it was originally in the stamp. Then I'm only inking up the top part of that stamp with my mini ink cube, and stamping it down with my mini MISTI. And the stamp positioning tool makes it really easy to do this because you can make sure that you line it up exactly where you want it and get the stamped image perfectly in place. I'm just double stamping here to get a really good image and making sure to ink up all of that part of the table that needs to be inked to connect to the other half that I had just stamped. And once you do that, you can see that you get one cohesive, longer table image, which is really cool. This is a good way to change up any of the stamps that you have, actually. You could always ink part of a stamp up and then move it around and ink the other part up to make it a little bit different than it was originally intended. So this way I get a longer table and I get to put more of these cute little food images on it. So next I'm stamping out all of the little food images along with some of the little stools that are meant to go with the table. And I'm just stamping them twice in black ink here to get a nice, crisp, clean image. In this stamp set there's lots of different types of foods. You have some sushi, some little dumplings, a little bowl of I think what is ramen, and some little packs of curry sauce, and then you have I think what is a soy sauce bottle. They all have the cutest little happy faces on them to make them look like they're alive, which I just think is so cute. So the next step is to then color in all of these images with my Copic markers. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video here so that you can watch the coloring to come together a little bit faster. If you want to keep watching the coloring, feel free to go ahead and watch. But if you don't want to watch the coloring, then of course just feel free to jump ahead in the video and watch the rest of the card come together. So I'll speak to you in a little bit. Okay, so now that all the images are colored, it's time to pull the card together. I've gone ahead off camera and die cut out all of the images using the coordinating dies that come with the Never Give Up stamp set. I also stamped out the sentiment, which you can see on screen here, keep calm and curry on, onto just a piece of white paper that I cut into a border shape using a die. I also pre-cut a piece of patterned paper, that's that teal and gray chevron piece there, that I thought was just a nice kind of background pattern to go behind all of the cute little foods, and I'm just gluing it on to a white card base with some liquid glue here. I then cut out some rectangle shapes using a wood grain pattern paper, and I'm going to just glue these onto the bottom to make it look like a floor. So it's going to look like a wooden floor, and that's where the benches are going to sit, and it's going to look like they're sitting in this room with that wallpaper, and they're sitting on that wooden floor. So I'm just making sure to align that floor piece of paper right along the bottom of my card to make sure that it's all nice and straight. I also left a little white border around all of the pattern paper seam just to kind of add that extra detail. As you can see, I got a little bit of glue that squeezed out from where I had put down that piece of paper. So if that ever happens to you, you can see that what I did was I just took my adhesive eraser and erased it away. And this is a really good way to clean up any excess glue that leaks out whenever you're gluing anything down. If you have an adhesive eraser on hand, it cleans it right up, and I've never had any problems with it. It always just kind of sops it right up, and then you don't have to worry. I also cut out a thin strip of a slightly darker wood grain pattern paper, and I'm just overlaying this on top of the original strip. And this is just kind of meant to give it like a finishing touch, like the wood has a bit of a border or like a baseboard along it, and I think it just kind of gives a little extra touch of detail. I'm now using my liquid glue to glue down that table image, and this is the table image that I had extended using the stamp. So the original stamp is not this long of a table, so it's good actually because the original stamp would fit horizontally on a portrait card as well. So if the card was sort of oriented vertically, you could still fit that table on in its original form. But if you wanted it to be longer and fit across a horizontal card like this, then you can just do that stamp extending trick that I use to make it a little bit longer. So really it's a super versatile image. I stamped out and colored 5 of these little stools, so I'm just placing them with foam squares along the bottom of the table image here to make it look like somebody could come up and sit on one of them and be sitting at the table eating all of these cute little food images. And I was kind of deciding whether or not I wanted them all to be straight or if I wanted some to be tilted to look like somebody had pulled it out. But at the end of the day, I decided to just kind of keep them all straight and have them all in a straight line beneath the table. So to finish up this card, all I have to do is adhere all my colored food images onto that table to make it look like they're all sitting there on the table, sadly ready to be eaten, or maybe they're just having a party or something. So I'm just using foam squares to adhere them all and give them all a little bit of extra dimension on top of that table. As you can see, I already stamped out the sentiment as well, and I'm also going to go ahead and glue that down with some liquid glue right onto the background, just on top of those food images to finish off the scene. I'm just using my tweezers to make sure that it's nice and straight, and then I can hold it down to make sure it's fully adhered to the card. So there you have it. This card is actually pretty simple. All I did was take some pattern paper to build the scene and then color and cut out all those cute little images and put them together on the card. But I really love how cute these images are, and they really just stand out on their own, so it doesn't really need much else. If you want to see more cards like this, definitely head over to my Instagram account, which is linked down below, and check out Penguin Palace Stamps' Instagram account as well. Thanks for watching! Bye!